Hello folks, it is Typhoon Carter and I bring to you another DPP SPL OU match. This is a showdown between We Free Kings of the Ever Grande BIGs and Ladybug of the Cryonicles. Both players are coming into this contest 1-1. We Free Kings coming off of a tough loss in week 2 against Void, where We Free Kings debatably should have won that game off of matchup, but things did not quite turn out that way. I actually covered that matchup live, and I will link the playlist in the description later if you want to catch up on the other games. As for Ladybug, Ladybug lost a tough matchup against Groudon last week, where Ladybug looked like they just ran out of time more than anything, even though they were very much behind by the time the game ended. That being said though, both these players looking to get back on the win column and get themselves back on track. And let's just hop right into this. Zapdos lead, Jirachi lead. A matchup we've seen many times, and Ladybug's Jirachi just tricks this Choice Scarf away onto the Zapdos. Looks like they were fairly confident that the Zapdos was going to be some kind of bulky set potentially, and that's what most lead Zapdos are nowadays. Besides the occasional offensive lead Zapdos, but that's a bit of a rare sight in comparison. And We Free Kings' Jirachi coming out indicating that it is Wish Protect Body Slam Iron Head most likely. And both these players are just going fishing, trying to get a paralysis, and We Free Kings is finally able to get that. And however, that being said though, Ladybug does not have to wait for a long time, as they also get the para that they were looking for with the Discharge Zapdos. Although the interesting thing is that Discharge Zapdos, you would think it would pair well with something like Substitute, but it's very likely that Ladybug's last move on this Zapdos is probably not that if it's running Discharge, because it would have subbed by now and showing U-turn. So Ladybug also bringing in their own Jirachi. And this Jirachi U-turn, probably Stealth Rocks from the looks of it, as well as like Iron Head usually. So that's probably what the moveset is on Ladybug's Jira. And we're in a bit of a loop here, as what's going on here is that this tells me that Ladybug doesn't really want to switch into a possible body slam. And also just looping back to the Jirachi, trying to make We Free Kings waste any body slam PP that can be wasted. And we're seeing a bit of U-turn pivot spamming from Ladybug. Again, just mostly doing this to get any mileage possible, and finally is able to get the Breloom in from the looks of it. And We Free Kings' Celebi, most likely a utility set, could also be running Thunder Wave. Could be something like Grass Knot, Hidden Power, Fire, Recover. That's also another common set on these bulky Celebis. And We Free Kings finally bringing out his own hazard removal. So we're seeing a bit of a Zap Me mirror, except the choice of grass types are different on both sides. And Ladybug swapped into the Zapdos on the Starmie to try and burn any Rapid Spin PP possible, making it 32 PP instead of 64 essentially. And Stealth Rocks again, however it won't be for long, and Ladybug brings out the Tyranitar. So this is looking like some kind of Big 5 build from Ladybug, and gets the Crunch off, maybe indicating that this is some kind of Choice Band Tyranitar, and 30% on opposing tar, so that's a lot of damage there. And We Free King's superpowers there, and that Jirachi is on its last legs and has to switch out here. And Zapdos coming in on the Tyranitar, able to burn an extra PP point on that superpower. And We Free Kings with the Flygon. This is most likely Choice Flygon on this kind of build. And this looks like kind of a very old school DPP build, very safe team with Zapdos, Starmie, Jirachi, Flygon, T-Tar, although usually Celebi is not the choice on here. But that being said, I digress, as this game is going at a relatively slow pace. They're just both trying to look for openings, and both players have some major threats on this team. We Free Kings' key threat here is going to be the Tyranitar, whereas Ladybug's Breloom could also prove to be a threat. However, the Celebi is the main thing standing in the way between Breloom potentially running this team over. And again, we have to remember that We Free Kings' Zapdos is choice locked, and that's an unfortunate full para on Ladybug's Zapdos, but is able to get back up to being relatively healthy. And Celebi gets the rocks up here, and we don't know what Ladybug was going to click there. Maybe Hidden Power Ice, maybe U-Turn. It did show U-Turn earlier, and brings the Flygon in on the Zapdos, but this Flygon is not going to be able to do a whole lot to Zapdos in this current game state. And the Breloom is in. Breloom looking to be a big threat to We Free Kings' squad. And just raw superpowers there. So the Celebi keeping the Breloom in check. And oh, it's slow Celebi from the looks of it. Or maybe this is like 262 Breloom, as a lot of Celebis tend to run that's not a great crit for We Free Kings, and 45 turns in, something finally falls here, and has to switch out, but the Starmie is in. Celebi threatening a KO, so Ladybug can't stay in here for long. And another Grassnon, that's an unfortunate critical, but barring a full para, the Zapdos should be able to get some health back. However, because of this, you're enabling free entry to the Tyranitar. And Tyranitar coming in, and Lucario is Ladybug's last. Rock Slide, okay. Okay, Rock Slide on that kind of T-Tar, I guess it makes sense because you want the extra PP. That's one of the downsides of running Stone Edge on T-Tar, is like getting potentially PP stalled out by Zapdos. Not as easy to do in front of a Zapdos, you know, so. That being said, and Breloom shows Sword Stance, so now We Free Kings really in trouble here. And just goes for a third one. That Iron Head doing nothing really, especially because the Jirachi's parried. And it shows Facade, so Ladybug almost gets a little too cute there, maybe trying to predict a Celebi switch in, and just opts the superpower and get rid of the Jirachi. We Free Kings is in a dire spot right now. Doesn't want to see this. The Zapdos threatening a possible KO. However, that being said though, the Zapdos is also choice locked because of the trick from turn 1. And the Lucario showing nothing, but it shows Thunder Punch. Okay, this tells me this Lucario is most likely Choice Scarf, as it took no Life Orb recoil. And it's probably 306 Scarf Lucario, most likely, because again, you want to be able to kill stuff like opposing Rotom more reliably per se. And then the T-Tar coming in, threatening a kill. Opts to crunch there. And it is now a quote-unquote 4-4 game, but really, Ladybug's in the driver's seat right now, as it stands. Zapdos in on its last legs. And just Thunderbolts there, so nice play by We Free Kings. And Lucario just opts to crunch there. And again, this is not great for Ladybug right now. This is a really tough game state to be in. And Ladybug just opts to Thunder Wave the Celebi. Not sure about that one. Maybe getting the spin off might have been arguably more valuable, but Thunder Waving the Celebi lets T-Tar get free entry and gets a hefty amount of damage with Crunch off, and that Celebi is almost all but dead at this stage. We Free Kings lets the Celebi go. And Lucario switching out Starmie, so that seemed a bit weird, but this Starmie, if it's like Surf Psychic, then maybe you can get somewhere. But alas, it is not from the looks of it. Swaps into Zapdos, maybe trying to get a last ditch effort. One way We Free Kings could potentially win this is with a critical Surf, but nothing doing here, as the Breloom is on its last legs, and Lucario will almost all but certainly get the kill. And Ladybug able to call out the recover and just gets the Spore off, and Starmie can't switch out anymore. Nothing doing here, and Ladybug looks like they've got this game wrapped up for the most part, or not. Gets an early wake up, but even with that, Ladybug is just getting health back with Toxic Heal, or Poison Heal, sorry, but Spores again. And all Ladybug needs is for We Free Kings to not get an early wake up. Needs one more, and it just surfs, does not recover, and Ladybug is able to walk away in what was a grinder against We Free Kings. Wow. Ladybug's team looks eerily similar to the team that BKC brought against Dredre, except BKC's last was not revealed, but if you told me the last was Tyranitar, I would most likely bet money on it. Don't gamble, kids. But as for We Free Kings' team, also pretty prototypical build that you'd see from older days of DPP, but with some modern spins on it, like Celebi instead of Uxie, for example. You'd also see stuff like, like the Scarf Flagon, very balancy team, like teams that are just both teams kind of focused on having some form of longevity one way or another. But that being said though, Ladybug moves to 2-1 on the season. We Free Kings moves to 1-2. If you guys enjoyed this commentary, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.